Hello, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Norwegian campaign in Dreadnought Improvement Project Great Game version 1.0.1. So today's episode was actually supposed to be part of the last episode, but because that battle ended up being longer than anticipated, and I didn't want to give you a 2 hour long episode, I split it in half. So let's find out if we can defeat the Grand French Navy with a numerically inferior force of our own, and if we can do it while keeping enough ships alive at the end of the battle that we can later on fight the Germans. Let's find out. And here we go. We get a big battle against the French. The French. They got 6 torpedo boats, a bunch of light cruisers, which I've not seen before. So they might be good, they might be bad. They got 4 underwater torpedo tubes each. So I'm guessing one on each flank and then bow and stern. The armored cruisers have 4 8.6-inch guns. And the battleship is the same as we saw with the torpedo boats, so we can take those with our own battleships. Yeah, the cruiser fight is going to be interesting. Let's go. Look at my majestic battleship compared to the French one. Pretty nice. Their heavy cruisers don't look too bad though. Light cruisers also, don't hate the look. Let's see how they perform. Let's first get my fleet organized. I've got only 2 torpedo boats. Weather is fine, it seems. I got 2 light cruisers. Let's see. Let's have the cruisers split up by class. Wolfsburg, you are an Austrian one. You can join that division. And you two can join Scotty. You're just gonna do 13 knots here. You're just gonna do 13 knots there. Battleships also slow down to 13. Light cruisers, I want you just hanging back. Same with the torpedo boats until I need you. Enemy has been spotted to the northwest, or at least their smoke has been spotted. The enemy battleship is spotting my ships. Regular crew, regular. I would have thought more of my ships were veterans by now. Here we go. French armored cruiser. 6.5-inch main belt, 2.6 fore and aft. Not bad in terms of armor. Yeah, not bad. And of course the battleship, which we've seen. 10.8 main belt, 3.2 fore and aft. And their light cruisers still kind of an unknown quantity. All right. Not sure what I'm gonna do with my torpedo boats here. Just sending them in towards the enemy battleships seems like a bit of a death sentence. Okay, I can slow down the Austrians. They got near battleships levels of firepower. But their armor is not the greatest. Especially compared to my own designs. Well, I definitely want them kind of hanging back. Just providing fire support. I'm gonna see how much of this massive French fleet I can sink before I decide to call it quits. So I don't think I can take them all. Here come the light cruisers. 3.5 main belt. And 6.2-inch guns. Not terrible. And torpedo boats coming in here, probably my first worry. They're going to be facing a wall of fire from everything, basically. Let's see if I can get a nice thumbnail out of this. Something showing that we've got a lot of enemy ships that we're fighting. So maybe like that. Yes. There we go, floating on the first torpedo bolt. What kind of torpedo range? Do you have short range or 0.9 kilometer? One torpedo boat down, lots more to go. Svein and Ulf both have veteran crew. Just gonna have to fire at whatever is coming closest here. And then switch. Okay, come this way. Okay, good. We're getting the enemy torpedo boats chasing us now. It's gonna make it hard for them to actually do something with their torpedoes. And my battleships and armored cruisers are knocking out their light cruisers. Sven and Ulf, you can speed up now. When there's an opening, I do want to try and go with my torpedo boats against their battleships. But right now there's just too much stuff in the way. Slow these down a little bit more because they're catching up to the battleships. French light cruisers are taking a pounding. They were coming in probably for a torpedo run against my my battleships. But because the AI has the automatic change of group leader enabled by default, when you damage the lead ship to slow it down, it's going to rotate to the back of the formation. And you just keep doing that. And they just never come closer. I'm glad they added it as an option to turn it off though for the player, because that was super annoying before they let us do that. So far I'm not really engaging their battleships at all, but they're too far away to do much reliably against my own ships. I just hope I still have ammunition left when time comes to actually engage them. Yeah, there we go. Every now and then a 10 or 12-inch shell slams into a light cruiser, causing massive damage. So make sure I don't forget. Flamberger T6 surrendered. Yeah, the crew threshold for surrendering in dip has been lowered back down to 45%. In vanilla, I think it's 80. It used to be 45. Then they did something with how fires kill your crew, and they raised it to 60 to compensate, and then they raised it again to 80. So it became almost impossible to actually get the enemy to surrender. I think Dip has, well, I know Dip has nerfed fires a lot though, so reducing the surrender threshold back down to 45% makes sense. And we are sinking enemy light cruisers left and right. We're just gonna knock out these torpedo boats soon. Okay, we can slow you down too. I still have a lot of light cruisers left, and a whole lot of armored cruisers as well. And these here have been very much neutralized. Muleurs, you're kind of alive for now. Let's change that. And give you some battleship attention. Valhall taking fire from something. Well, from most of the French fleet, I guess. Okay, let's actually leave the torpedo boats to secondary weapons and the light cruisers, because my big guns have some bigger targets to fry. What kind of armor did you have? 3.5? We can probably get closer here. Probably get closer here, get some more effective fire working against these, and then start taking on whatever is back here. And I almost forgot my torpedo boats again, completely. Because once the chaff here is taken out, the enemy battleships should be available for a torpedo boat attack. There you go, let's just knock this thing out. That should be the last torpedo boat they have. Maybe, unless it's one here, but that's none of my concern really. Keep the secondaries firing at the torpedo boat. Flamberger has surrendered. That's a tough boat. It's gonna have to take in a lot of hits for the crew to actually surrender. Okay, it took 36 hits. Not that many hits. Just took a lot of fire because it's so tiny and difficult to hit. There we go, they have one more torpedo boat here. That should be the last one. Fabergé T-30. The Austrians are already engaging the first of the light cruisers in that division. Battleships are getting closer to this light cruiser, and it should not be able to survive very long. Because my battleships actually have pretty decent accuracy. Yeah, there we go. A couple of main gun salvos and Milhouse is gone. Let's see, torpedo boats. Yeah, their heavy cruisers are not really that expensive. They're cheaper than mine. Cheaper than the Austrians, too. Well, the Austrians are mine. I give them a refit, but they're... The base cost is pretty much what it was. Let's see, what's the cruising speed of an Austrian built armored cruiser? 9 knots? I can just hang around here. I want the Valhalla class to speed up, though. They're going to catch up here. And take attention away from my torpedo boats that are actually speeding in. Plenty of fuel. If I can just get a couple torps on each of these battleships, then I will be happy with that. Prima Guet. Actually, let's have the Austrians start taking care of this too. Ulf and Svein can keep this thing entertained. Ooh, that is a bad hit on Wolfsburg. 11-inch from the battleship. We score a pretty big hit on the enemy light cruiser in return. Okay, can we actually get this out, or is it too late? Because it's been slowed down quite a bit. Here comes some weather. That's the ugly fog. going to make my my game look worse. Unless I zoom in, then it actually looks quite decent. Especially with the sunset. Let's see, where are my torpedo boats now? I forgot about them again. So they're gonna come in here. Neither side really scoring a lot of effective hits at these combat ranges, but that's what life is like in 1895. Especially with the weather being like this. It is overcast, that's another minus 20. And also minus 32.9 from slight sea waves. And minus 23 for daytime. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be a knockout victory. Probably going to have the time run out. Before anything major happens. But we are at least knocking out some light cruisers. Not really the high value targets I wanted to kill, but Ulf on low fuel. Didn't know your operational range was that bad. Okay. Hard to see exactly where I'm ordering my ships to turn when I cannot see that little green arrow due to the fog, but that's how it is. Rochambeau. You know, if I'm not able to get their battleships, if all I can get are heavy cruisers with my torpedo boats, then I will be happy with that. Speed up with the battleships again and get a little bit closer. Hopefully Wolfsburg can actually get out and survive. And hopefully my torpedo boats will actually be able to do something. Got Logon. Valhalla class armored cruisers steaming in, full power. Nine kilometers. Can I hit the battleship from here? Like effectively. I guess I can. Not sure if I'm going to score any hits though, but let's see, 10.2 inches. I mean, potentially could do some damage. But we're not going to hit that range, not reliably, so we're just going to drop that idea. Torpedo bolts. Might get to do something. Accuracy has dropped by a lot because it's evening and overcast and sea waves and everything else. And it started out being such nice weather. Oh, never mind. Weather is nice again. Which is not good for my torpedo bolts. Especially not Ivar, who just took engine damage and flooding. We might just have to settle for some torpedo hits on Emile Bartin from Ivar. No, she fixed the engine. The flooding isn't too bad. Still gonna go for that light cruiser though. Vegard is going in for the armored cruiser Rochambeau. Don't think I can make it to the battleships. Two torpedo hits on the Rochambeau. Vegard and Ivar quite heavily damaged. Might not make it out. Oh, I should have saved the torps. She could have launched at Chambart. She ended up passing her anyway. She would have had a perfect angle. At least, if I'm lucky, should be able to get them out. I know torpedo bolts are kind of semi-expendable, but doesn't mean I like to see them just die. Listen and Tyrol, you kind of need to get in here. Wolfsburg still somehow holding on. Vegard surrendered. Ulf, you are on low fuel. You can just go, but Svein, you're still capable. Ivar is gonna make it. At least it looks like Ivar is gonna make it. Never mind. I thought I was ordering my Battleships. Here they are. They are targeting the enemy armored cruiser. That is nice. No end battle option yet. It seems like they're breaking off the chase. This is where I should have had my torpedo boats against all those armored cruisers. Okay. Eva got out. They've lost sight of her. Now let's see if we can sink something else. Just too bad I didn't save my torpedoes for the battleships, because I did end up well in range of them, and with good torpedo launch angles too. That would have been a sweet price if I'd been able to land 2 torps on each battleship, like my initial plan actually was. The A turret is out of ammo. Just the wing turrets left, capable of firing. Looks like we're gonna end up with battleship on battleship duels after all. Although sadly my battleships are quickly running out of main gun ammunition. Are these AP shells? They haven't even done that much. Odin has done some damage. At least they're both basically intact. No serious damage taken. Wolfsburg has done some damage. Listen and Tyrol have done some damage. There we go. I think that's the end of Russian boat. Yeah, it is. Okay, my battleships are targeting their battleships. Their armored cruisers is... I don't know what they're doing. Svein is kind of out of the picture. And I think that's the end of Emile Boctin. Yeah, it is. You can now expend the last of your AP ammo against this light cruiser. Also, you can drop down to cruising speed. As can you. Get a little bit more accuracy. So back up to plus 50 for clear weather. One hour in-game left. That's gonna be a bit of a long episode. I didn't think this battle would be this drawn out. The Allsprings are scoring some good hits with their Mark II 10-inch guns. Let's keep these in the fight. 5-kilometer range. Should have enough pen. What kind of armor quality? -1%. Yeah, we're firing AP at you. Basically means that my penetration values against those French battleship is better than what's visible here. Because this is calculated as plus 50%, which is pretty much what I have. Jean-Bart is taking some damage, but scratching the paint of Harald, which is quite annoying. The Valhalla class armored cruisers are wrecking these poor light cruisers. The Austrians are in duel with a couple of Frenchmen. Armor quality, plus 28%. Yeah, you can also fire AP, you know. It's a better idea. You're gonna do a lot more, I think. If you can hit. Jean-Bart is sinking, actually. Looks like it. Yeah, there she goes. So we did succeed in sinking at least one French battleship. Maybe we're gonna sink the other one too. And we're punishing the light cruisers. Maybe we can get you back here, Ivar. Maybe you can fulfill your dream of launching torpedoes at a battleship. After all, my battleships need to speed up if they are to catch the enemy battleship. Luckily, they are faster. Should have enough pen with AP. So why am I firing HE then? Yeah, here we go. They do have torpedoes worth watching out for. But when closing in like this, they're going to eat a lot of damage. And I don't think they... no, they're not going to come to within torpedo range. They're just going to take a lot of damage doing this maneuver for some reason. So we're gonna get some armored cruiser kills too, which is nice, because those are worth a lot more than light cruisers. Furieux sinks due to heavy flooding. Enemy battleship is on low fuel. You're not gonna go away now. 15 knots and dropping. What's my fuel? 67%. Watch out, Savoy, there's an angry smoke cloud drifting closer. Not really a good angle here on Tonnerre. Tourville, better angle. Granted, she's intact, more intact, but we sank a light cruiser 2 somewhere. I didn't think we'd be able to sink this many. Maybe this was a bad idea for Ivar. I kind of misjudged where to meet up with the enemy battleship. Just end up pushing the battleship away from my battleships. Maybe we can make something happen after all. Maybe something can happen. Okay, now Tonnerre has a good angle, or is showing a good angle. Put those Mark II 10-inch guns to use now, Austrians. We're gonna get the torpedoes off. Possibly, because we just caused some flooding. So, slowing the enemy battleship down even more. There we go, 2 torpedoes going out. One is gonna miss by a mile. The other one is probably gonna be a dud. Yeah. Angle too great. So that was a fail. It just resulted in pushing the enemy battleship away from my battleships. And causing the UAD to surrender. The Austrians have successfully sunk another armored cruiser. See if they can do that again with Tourville. It has already taken a lot of flooding. These 9-inch guns should be, yeah, there we go. Tourville sinks. Just down to the battleships now. You're going to be firing HE until I tell you to switch back to AP. So you're kind of low on AP, and I want it to be saved for when the angle is actually good. And once the battleship is down, I think it will be time to leave the battle. It's going to be over soon anyway. Speed it up a little bit. Just so that it doesn't end up being a 2-hour episode. slow you down just a tad. And now you can fire your AP if you want to. At this range, at this angle, that should be very effective. Look at the absolute Chad Battle of yeah. Having taken a lot of hits and only down to 99% structural. Absolute beasts of battleship. Well, battleships, 2 of them. Are we out of AP yet? Not quite. The angle is still not perfect in terms of scoring penetrating hits with AP, but it just keeps turning away. Maybe something like this. It doesn't really show how much is going on in the background though, and how huge this battle actually was. You're gonna see that when you watch the episode anyway. So the thumbnail doesn't end up being a spoiler. Light cruisers sinking left, right, and center. You got these 3 intact armored cruisers left, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do much about. I'm going to switch to HE on my main guns. How the hell if I get it down to 96%? He's taking some hits now. Savoy is fighting back desperately. But crew losses are mounting. Not a whole lot of fire going on, but that's just a dip for you. Nice HE pen causing flooding on Hirondelle. If I could just get a better angle for my battleships, I'm going to force them to fire AP. That should be the end of Savoy. Time is running out. Okay, let's fire that AP while we still have it. This fleet will have to go back to port for resupply. That's a lot of ammunition fired. Odin still has 6 AP shells left. 2 now. Cause some damage. Main tower destroyed. Odin will fire her last salvo of AP at an imperfect angle. 7-inch guns are out of ammo. Main guns are out of AP. These guys are down to just HE as well. Savoy is just taking it from all directions. And finally, her structural integrity is No, looked like she was flooding all over, but it kind of got fixed, I guess. Here we go. I think this will soon be the end. Oh, the proud French battleship. And there she goes. Savoy sinks due to heavy flooding. We got 10 in-game minutes left with ×5 time acceleration going on. Shouldn't be too long. So we're just gonna play it out. Probably not gonna take any longer than gaining distance and getting the end battle thing. Yeah, we've almost sank the entire French task force. I think I'll be able to sink this light cruiser too, without much issue. And then they will only have these 3 armored cruisers left, on low fuel. And, well, they are undamaged, currently. Four minutes left. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to fire many more salvos and do any actual heavy damage. I think unless I get extremely lucky and somehow detonate something. Two minutes. One minute. Yeah, these will survive. But yeah, that's pretty nice. Sank 24 ships. 38,000 victory points. That should be enough to force the French to, you know, offer a surrender. Lost 2 torpedo boats. That's not too bad. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And, yeah, France. You can get a peace treaty. No, the German Navy is still here. I'm gonna move these to it's the biggest port I have, Copenhagen actually. Start resupplying there. Now what happened to that torpedo boat I thought went to Stockholm for repair? It's just gone. I don't know what happened to it. It's just gone. Anyway, that's it for now. That was a longer than intended episode, but that last battle, I'm hoping it was enjoyable. Yeah, the Spanish are just not sending ships into the actual invasion zone. They're just doing stuff around here. That's fine by me. Well, goodbye, and take care.